everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. So today I am giving this vintage dresser a makeover, and I fell in love with it because of those legs, and I love the handles. I love this style of furniture, and I just knew what I could do with this piece. So here's a before look, and as you can see, I started to take off the detailed appliques because I knew that they were plastic, and I have come across this quite a few times. If you've seen my other videos, you've noticed that I take off these panels, and they're thick plastic panels. It's insane. I did not even know this before until I started taking them off. But if you look underneath, the wood grain underneath that plastic is so beautiful, and I knew that I had to keep that wood grain. So those plastic panels came off, but I did keep them in case anybody was concerned that I chucked them, but I did keep them just in case anything came up that I needed. So as you can see here, that wood grain is so beautiful, and I can't believe it was hidden. And I'm glad that I took off those plastic panels. Now it looks like a more modern piece as well. I also took off the frames, the wood frames at the back of the dresser that held up the mirror, because I'm not selling it with the mirror. Usually they don't sell with mirrors, so I tend to keep them off and then paint the mirrors separately and sell them. So as you can see here, I took off the handles. They were on the side, and it was so awkward. I did not like this at all. And I used my short mini screwdriver that's magnetic, and this screwdriver is amazing. It has come in hand so many times and fits right in the corners there. So as you can see, where the panels came off, there were little tiny holes, and I also needed to fill the holes in where the handles were. So I used my DAP wood filler, and it mimics wood. It's like a plastic sort of wood filler, but it's like a putty, and I really, really like this product. So I filled in all of the holes. Sometimes once it's dry and you've got primer over it, you can sort of see the holes. As I was saying, once you get the primer on, you can sometimes see the holes still, so I always like to go over it probably twice just to make sure it's completely flat. And here's how it looks so far. So what I did is I wrapped up all of the drawers and took them out of the dresser because they were overlapping the trim, and it was going to be impossible to get to otherwise. So I started priming, and I used Kiltz Restoration primer. And this primer is amazing for bleed through, and this piece did have some bleed through. Now I did try and use the card to hold up against the dresser so I wouldn't get the spray inside, but it just was not working out for me, and I think it was because the cardboard was too big. So then I sprayed the legs, and I also put the whole dresser onto its back so that I could get all areas of the legs. And I even sprayed the bottom of the dresser eventually, just so it was more even with the spray. Once the primer was dry, I sanded with my sanding pad, which is 220 grit, and making sure that the wood filler is completely smooth and flat. So here's what they look like so far. And I'm just sanding all of the drawers, making sure they're really smooth. Now it was time to spray the actual paint color, which is by Mango Paint, and it's called Evelyn. It's a beautiful sort of vintage blue-green color. It's one of my favorites. I then decided to spray the original hardware with Rust-Oleum spray in Champagne Mist, which is my favorite color of the Rust-Oleum sprays. It's just such a nice, pretty, soft gold and was perfect for this dresser. To match the gold hardware, I put some tissue paper on the sides. All I did was measure it out on the drawers and then brush some clear coat onto the top to seal it. It's quite easy to apply, and I always make sure there's a little bit of wood showing on all sides so that the tissue paper doesn't run or drag when you're pushing the drawer in. So here I'll show you from the beginning. This is the drawer side. I brushed Country Chic Paint Clear Coat onto the side with their angle brush, making sure that it has a good amount on the surface. I then placed the tissue paper onto where I had put the clear coat, making sure I have it the right way. And then just run your hand over it so it sticks. And then I put a bit more clear coat on there so that it would stay in place. I used my utility knife to cut all of the edges. Make sure that your blade is sharp, otherwise if it's dull, it'll just rip the paper really badly. So I like to cut actually on the wood because I don't want the tissue paper dragging over the edges. And there you go. And then to seal it, I put clear coat on again and then let dry completely. This is getting all the bubbles out as well. And on the outside drawers, I thought of something else that was creative, and I wanted to add some more gold, which I don't usually use, but I really love this gold. It's by Redesign With Prima, and it's called Brushed Champagne. So it's similar to the handles as well. This stencil is a damask stencil, and it matched perfectly to the tissue paper, which is called Washed Damask. These are all Redesign With Prima products, and they're all in my description. And this stencil is actually stick and style, so it sticks to the surface, which is awesome. So then the top, I wanted to keep a more natural wood color, but I knew that the sealer would make the wood orange or bring out that natural orange color of the wood. As you can see there, the water did that as well. And so I brush on Country Chic Paint Soiree paint and then spray with water and then rub it off with the cloth. And as you can see here, I'm doing it to the drawers as well, and you get that natural wood color without having it turn orange when you seal it. So now it's time to seal the entire piece, and I like to use Country Chic Paint Clear Coat, making sure that I got the legs and all trim. Because my spray booth is not quite that big, this was a very long dresser, and I needed to touch up the trims on the drawers and the backs of the legs that I couldn't get to. Sometimes that happens and it's okay. I just get a small brush and then brush where I missed. I also painted the backs of the drawers as well. The middle drawers needed handles, and so what I did is measured where I wanted them in the middle and then drilled the holes with the help of my hubby, and then we put those handles onto the middle. Also, the handles on the other side on the two top drawers, one of them had been broken, and I luckily had two that were very, very similar. You can't even tell, and I absolutely love them, and it worked out perfectly. This piece is available and looks absolutely amazing. I just love the tissue paper, love the stencils, and love the hardware. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you'd like to support my channel, you can go into my description and there is my Amazon wish list and buy me a coffee. Thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you next Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern with another furniture makeover. Take care and have an awesome day. And last thing, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thanks again.